Hey everybody, it's Mike Sullivan with Building Better Communities. Today we have a great guest. His name is Nick Matthews, and he's in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. And Nick, thanks so much, man, for carving out time with us today.
I appreciate that. Thank you for having me on. And before we get kicked off, I just want to make clear the views and opinions presented by me are those of me and don't necessarily represent JMT or the Department of Defense or any of the components thereof of either. Appearance of a reference to any commercial products or services do not constitute JMT or DoD endorsement of these products or services. The appearance of external hyperlinks does not constitute DoD endorsement or JMT endorsement of the linked websites or the information, products, or services therein. So again, appreciate you having me on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, what a great honor.
I don't
Thank
know,
you.
man. It's the feeling is mutual. So, like, the main three we had, I kind of can throw a fun one in. And actually, it's just kind of a surprise if you're cool with it. How do you get started in this line of work? And then, like, what's your favorite thing that gets you out of bed every day?
Sure. So getting started is the question. I'm glad you asked that.
Mm-hmm.
I was born and raised in the North Carolina foothills. I enjoyed playing sports outside, a lot of scouts, mountain biking,
Hmm.
playing neighborhood friends. Just kind of
Yeah.
good
Cool.
mixture of activities. Spent my high school years in Spain. Um, Got out of high school and worked as an aircraft mechanic for about 14 years. Moved my way up to supervisor and then manager. Decided I wanted to finish my engineering degree, so got into corporate networking and IT to kind of pay the bills, keep my family fed while I was going through college. Finished that degree in civil, coming out of UNC Charlotte. Got a job in Charlotte, North Carolina as a stormwater and ditch designer. So got to do a lot of ditch designs and some pretty interesting stuff there, and eventually moved into traffic signals. Over time, started reaching back to some of those old mechanic and IT attributes and interests I had. And have moved more towards a smart mobility and TISMO oriented role. And these are new and emerging terms to describe a new field that's coming out that's not civil focused. Um, Again, reaching back to some of my other past experiences, really enjoyed moving into a role that allowed me to start building multidisciplinary teams to work within smart mobility and TISMO. And now I serve JMT, helping them build a team of experts within the Carolinas to meet those goals, prosecuting and completing smart mobility and TISMO projects. So really enjoying that. I believe you asked me my favorite part of the career.
Yes, sir.
To be quite honest, it's um, position I'm in now allows me to serve God in a way that uses a lot of my past
Mm.
experiences to be a better leader.
Amen.
I improve the lives of those who work on my team and help me find solutions to problems in my communities. And that's
Amen.
not something I'm just tossing out there as whatever. I really enjoy it. I enjoy bettering lives of those around me.
Yeah.
It really gets me past some of the harder points. I'm sure you're familiar with that as well.
Yes,
What you're
sir.
doing here at this podcast.
Yeah. What I
So,
loved is that you brought God in. So that's the most important. Amen to that. Using the God-given gifts He's given you and using those for, you're using those to advance His kingdom. And maybe you're doing it in a way, by creating safety. You're protecting other people in the body, right? So that's awesome that you're doing that. Amen to that, brother. Amen.
thank you.
What's probably least
But
favorite? So if you have your
least,
favorite, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I think reality is the least favorite part of my career.
There
Just
you
the
go.
limitations of budget, time, and manpower.
Mm,
So
mm-hmm.
we there's a never ending list of needs and desires, and it's tough sometimes to see problems that are out there that have a solution that needs to be applied and have to deal with the reality that maybe it's a budgetary decision for next year, or maybe there's not the political will right now because we just went through it with something else, or maybe we just don't have the skilled technicians here that we can implement that just yet. But I tell you, it's an unfortunate reality that people are still getting killed and injured due to delays in implementing these solutions. But I'm encouraged by the fact that we've seen a shift in our industry recently towards really consideration of all road users and deep desire to pursue safety. And it's not coming at the expense of any particular road user, which is great. Sometimes there's just kind of a squabble over the different slices of the pie. It seems like, with advances in technology and just overall research that's being done, including by some of the folks you've interviewed on this podcast, we're really just focused on growing that pie now. So we're able to actually meet those needs through something as cutting edge as AI and some of the innovations that those large language models and automations provide. But even just kind of going back and applying new technology advances into processes that we have that allow me to do more faster, to allow my team to consider more, and allow us to implement a lot faster. So a good friend of mine who works within traffic safety frequently tells people that every day that we spend delaying a solution is potential lives are lost. So it really is important to get stuff out there. And he says it in a way that's not just, again, it's not just a toss away slogan. It's the gentleman means it. I appreciate it when he says that. It's really resonated with me.
Yeah, amen to that. And I resonates with me too because my sister Heather almost died at an intersection, and probably I'm sure it was a long time ago, so they probably didn't have dilemma zone, all the things that are like basic now.
Mhm.
So I appreciate your authenticity and just for you being real, man. You know that's
Thank you.
really important to you. That's awesome. God's put you exactly where He wants you. Right? You're being a servant leader, and you're doing it. So that's awesome. And
Thank you.
what if there's like a kiddo out there, maybe middle school, high school, maybe college student, or maybe a new engineer? What would you say to him or her to encourage them?
I tell you, I got 8 things. So I'll go through them quick, but they're good things. Um, Remember, I'm a guy that started out. My interest was Sim City, City Skylines, Transport Tycoon on my computer. Drawing my own maps. Just my mom used to park me in front of a traffic signal in the stroller.
Hmm.
At least that's what she told me. She's convinced that she's the reason I became a signal engineer. But I would just watch that signal all day, watch cars go by.
Wow.
Apparently, you know, I'm starting out. I got into engineering because I wanted to drive trains, and engineers drive trains, and
Yeah.
it evolved into something from there. And that's kind of a silly reason to start, but that's what got me on the path to it. So I think for someone looking at engineering, the fact that you're even considering it probably means you got a little bit of engineering in you. And the question is, what type? So I'd encourage you to realize you need to be an enthusiastic professional. This isn't just another job. It's not working at Taco Bell folding burritos like I did when I was in high school, or selling people movie tickets. I mean, this is a job where you actually have to develop and practice along the way. So engineering requires practice. It doesn't require a bunch of academic degrees or credentials, having an engineering job, or even completing projects. It requires that active practice. If you're not doing that active practice, you're probably not in engineering. You're around it, you work with engineers, but you're not really an engineer. So it's continuous refinement of your knowledge and engineering principles and how they apply to get you to that eventual area of focus you want to be in. I started out fixing aircraft, then moved to computers, kind of missed being outside a little bit, so then got into ditch design, of all things, which has a lot of common areas with traffic flow, and that got me over to signals, and then got me back into IT and working outside again. That's kind of where I am today. So don't resign yourself to the discipline where you start, but move yourself towards where you actually need to be. Go get the credentials and degrees you need to get there, but don't get any extra. Get exactly what you need. Focus your efforts on practicing and getting good at what you can do. You'll know you're in a good spot when there's not that many people around you that know everything that you know. There'll always be people that know more than you, but when you're having to reach across states or calling people off of LinkedIn or meet people at conferences to learn something new or to find folks that know more than you in that particular niche area that you're in, that means you're probably getting close. So learn from those people. Again, it's continuous learning, but you should always be progressing towards that finesse knowledge. So going a little beyond that, once you get to that point where you're a good engineer, when you're mastered your craft and you practice that, don't necessarily shoehorn yourself into thinking you have to be a project manager or leader. Not every engineer has that in their future, and it's okay. And you may move in and out of those roles. You may go be a leader for a while. I'm enjoying being a leadership role I'm in now, and at some point I'm probably going to want to move back in engineering. Who knows? We'll see how things work out. But project management, people management, leadership are not really extensions of engineering. That skill in engineering can inform those. But I'd encourage you to think about the fact that you're going to have to practice those as well. So know what you're getting
Yeah.
into if you're going in that direction. So lastly, simple piece of advice for folks that are still in school that might be watching this: get your EIT while you're in school. I don't care what discipline you're in. I don't just hire civils. And a lot of my colleagues and folks that are smarter than me in this profession don't hire just civils either. They hire mechanical, electrical, industrial systems. If it's an ABET engineering degree, they're interested. So smart mobility, emerging technologies, traffic technology, TISMO, whatever you want to call it, is a very broad field. It's very open and accessible to a wide range of engineering background. But the one kicker it's hard to get around is lacking that EIT. Take your FE, pass it, get your IT, figure out your PE later. That'd be my best advice for you. Don't exit school without that EIT.
That's
I appreciate
awesome.
you having me on. Thanks a
No,
ton.
yeah, man. Thank you, Nick, and I appreciate your passion for what you do. I feel it. It's oozing out of you, which is really cool. And I appreciate you kind of have like a not only a servant leader heart, but kind of a mentor too. That's kind of what I'm picking up. And so thank you for all the time you put in this, and thank you for actually giving the answers some real thought. And what's really cool is you spent the majority of the time on the encouragement. So that's really cool. So if you're out there and you're a student, you just got a master class right there from from someone that's doing it. So Nick Matthews, thank you, brother, for making time.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Wherever people go, one signal at a time, one project, one design, making tomorrow brighter than today. They're building better communities, keeping families safe on every street, helping traffic move, helping dreams come true, making life a little